goal, where were the defensive breakdowns that ultimately led to you guys being in a deeper hole and then chasing the game?
Yeah, I mean, the first one is off of a set piece. Javi has a situation on the front end where maybe we don't get a call, comes down, they get a call, they get a free kick, deflects, I think, goes out for a corner. The first corner, I think we manage and we block, goes to a second corner. I feel like we miss two chances maybe to clear the ball. And one of their players just kind of recycles. One of our guys doesn't stay inside of the play, and the ball finds Gold, and he buries it. We have two chances to deal with the scenario, and we didn't. And now we're down 1-0. Second goal is just, it's our corner kick, and we played some balls in early in the game. I guess the guys had the option to play short and do three-man action to try to soften up the face of the goal. Chase just got stuck with the ball that turned into a transition, and then we don't manage the transition in the end. Now we're down 2 and we're chasing it. Our opportunities for the first 60 minutes, we had so much of the ball. We played the game in their half of the field. We still are short and turning the possessions into more chances. We're getting to good spots and turning those good spots into semi-good chances. Then when we're getting to good chances, then we're not finishing those chances properly, and we allow the team to hang around a bit until we give up one, and now we're on the wrong side of it. So we've got to be more. At the end of the day, we've got to be better in the final action, and we've got to punish teams when you have that much of the game and they're attacking half, and then we have to see games out. If the opposition gets those breaks or gets those moments in set pieces, things like that, because that's all it's going to come down to: transition and set pieces, and that's ultimately that became the situation in the end. We can go through details, but that's sort of the flow of the game. We have a couple of good opportunities to go up, and we don't. But still, more of the possession needs to become dangerous attacks. More of our running needs to go through the lines. Our sprinting needs to start before the pass is played, not after the pass is played. There's things like that where we just lose little bits of time sometimes that are allowing teams to get in front of their goal and protect the goal. And we've got to be a little sharper in that for sure. And we've got to do that quickly.
And quick turnaround here, how will you work on that over the next couple of days before you face Colorado at home on Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's things to consider. From personnel shape, it's a quick turnaround. There's things to consider as we move into the weekend to again turn possession into chances into goals. That's ultimately the thing that we have to accomplish between now and Saturday, because in these games we have a lot of the ball, but we need to score more goals on that. So and again, we need to bury oppositions when we have the chance to bury them, and otherwise you just can't let them hang around for as long as we're letting teams hang around right now.
All right, thanks, Coach. Safe travels.
Scott French.
Greg, we've seen this team have a lot of possession over the season, and it not necessarily turn into the type of chances that you want. Is that just part and parcel of what this team is? I watch you, and I sometimes think you guys are too static, that there's not enough movement going on.
Yeah, I think part of it is it's the timing of the movement, and it's the organization of the body to be able to play fast when we get in between lines and we break lines, to be able to go forward and attack the back line. It's getting runners to run before the players are playing passes so that the pass can lead them into the depth. We're hesitating and waiting for the pass before we run sometimes. Sometimes we make the runs, we don't hit the pass. So it's just for me, some of this comes down to timing. Some of it comes down to being more dynamic. Like I said, we have players who want to receive the ball at their feet in between the lines. We need more players who want to run and receive the ball on the run, in behind the line, creating an advantage and a time advantage, creating space in front of the goal, things like that. And that's been our work all season, is trying to find that balance between what I call space users, which are our guys who receive the balls between the lines, and the guys who are actually space creators, your unbalancers, your guys who are running into the depth and giving you that time edge to finish opportunities. We've left, especially in the amount of possession we've had in the last couple games, we've left too many opportunities, I think, to be dangerous on the table, and teams are, we're not ruthless enough in that final piece to put these teams away. But that's what it is. So that's been some of the problem for the season. Yeah, that's been one of them. Is we do get there sometimes, and then we don't make the best cross. We don't put the ball in the right place. We don't finish the chance. It's the connection of all of those things. When you destabilize to when you finish, there's a connection of 2 or 3 passes that have to be done well and right at the right time in order for things to end up in the back of the net. And we, more times than we should, we're coming up short on some of those.
The timing of the running, that sometimes it's reactionary rather than proactive. Is that just a lack of instinct?
It could be different things. It could be a hesitation, waiting to see if the guy is actually going to play the ball. It could be a guy maybe trying to stay on side, so he's not taking off too early, and he's trying to wait because he thinks that he's going to get behind. For me, it could be not reading the situation, that you're trying you need to break that run earlier and recognize that is the next action and needs to happen behind the back line and not in front of the back line. It could be game reading. It could be just a misconnection between the two players. Look, there's different reasons. Ultimately, at the end of the day, the timing of it and turning possessions into attacks needs to be more efficient. Turning chances into goals needs to be more efficient. And with the amount of possession we have, that's the thing. But the hardest thing to do sometimes in soccer is take teams that sit in a little bit lower block and unbalance them and find your time edge and score goals. It may mean you don't get as many chances, but your good chances you have to bury. And then if you bury and go 1-0, then maybe they get invited out a little bit further, and then spaces open up to get number 2 or get number 3. And we certainly had, in my opinion, we had some chances to go up 1-0, which might change the image of the game in terms of their posture or whatever.
And lastly, just curious, your thoughts on the substitution pulling Chicharito.
Yeah, look, it's some of it's a risk reward. We play again in 2 days in a home game that's going to be really, really important. He's played a lot of minutes in this stretch. Wanted to get some wingers on the field to get them some action and get them some game time and get them going. Wanted to try to create some things off of the wings. So it's a number of things when you get down to that portion of the game. It's especially at this point in the season with things coming quickly.
Thank you, Greg.
Last one with Josh Guessman. Go ahead.
Hey, Greg. Thanks for taking the time. I appreciate it. This is the 8th time that you guys have given up 3 goals or more this season, and you had a pretty good chance to climb above the playoff line with the results at RSL and Austin, and that didn't happen. I know we talked about this last year, maybe in a similar situation. When does this team take that next step of winning these important games?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question, Josh. I mean, ultimately it needs to be quickly, but it's again, it's that ruthlessness of you have an opportunity and you take the opportunity, you put it away, whether it's in front of goal, whether it's in the attack, whether it's to get up the standings. For me, it's a mentality. It's for us to take those big steps and as a group, and some of that is inside of the game and some of that is what you see in the standings, but it's a ruthlessness that comes with, that is a mentality to bury teams and put them away. In my opinion, that's what we have to do. I don't think it's a lack of effort. I don't think it's a lack of trying. I think there's just there's a certain mentality that the team has to grasp, that is, when an opportunity is in front of them, whether that's in the game or not, there has to be with confidence, with personality, with all those things, to bury it and to move on to the next one and go again and bury it, and that's how you move yourself up the table. You have to take those opportunities inside of the game and execute, and it comes down to execution. And I feel like we've allowed, over the last couple of years, like you said, these opportunities to come into a game, or we can execute and move ourselves into a good spot, and we don't get across the line in the way we need to. So yeah, it's again, it's a mentality that we have to turn, that, turning draws into wins, things like that. And this is, it's time for us to press forward on that. It's the thing that we discuss a lot with our group, is taking that next big step forward to, turn possession into attacks, turn attacks into goals, put teams away, move up the table. It's all the same thing. It's a mentality.
Looking at the midfield, because went with the diamond midfield again. Did you feel that you were too narrow with that diamond midfield? Did you expect to get more help, maybe from Julian or from Chase on the outside, than you did, especially sitting against a low block?
Yeah, at times we were narrow, but again, at times we were narrow, especially sometimes in the transitions or when attacks start happening fast before our fullbacks are able to get into attacks. There were times when we were too narrow. There's times when we just opt to look for the ball at our feet when we need to be running through the line and looking for the ball on the run behind the back line. And then we have times when we run and we bring the game back to the inside. Instead of playing the wide player who is giving us the run, we still go back a little bit more central. So there's varying reasons. There's times though that I thought we got around the outside and then we don't deliver a cross that we can use in front of the goal, or we hesitate a second to look for the best possible cross when the ball comes off of our hip. We just need to whip it in front of the goal and let guys make the runs and score. We just lose fractions of time, in my opinion, in some of these actions. But yeah, there's times I think that we lacked a little bit of width on the outside, but there's also times where I think we don't utilize our outside enough, and we need to build some speed off of those outside positions, whether it's fullbacks, whether it's Kevin drifting wide, whether it's Victor taking a wide position, things like that. But again, some of this is just, it's for our guys who want to play between the lines. Sometimes they need to run and they need to go through the lines and they need to try to break lines. You see it with Kevin De Bruyne, you see it with Silva, you see it with these guys that are also between the line guys, but they will run through the lines when the time is there to run through the lines. And it's not always just the wingers, it's everybody that has to take their turn. When their turn is on, we've got to go through the line and we've got to try to put pressure on the back line and force them to defend us. There was times when we were in a 3-5-2 looking shape and we were able to get our fullbacks or wingbacks into higher positions, and I thought we had some really good moments off of that, but again, not enough came into quality in the final action. So we had some different rotations inside of it. That's a long answer to your question. Sometimes we don't use the width and sometimes we narrow ourselves up too much.
Thanks, Greg.
Thanks,
Trouble
Greg.
safe.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, Derrick, we just heard a lot from Greg in terms of the lack of ability from turning possession into chances into goals, and the same with when you have an opportunity to move up in the table, a lack of killer instinct to do what needs to be done. I guess from your perspective, what's missing for this team right now?
I feel like what Greg said, just getting that goal and really changing the momentum, because we had all the ball, we were in control, we were comfortable all game, I felt like, and then we just let them hang on a bit too long. They get a chance, then they get a bit of momentum, they score, and then it's just, we make it difficult for ourselves where we shouldn't have been in that position at the start. First half we felt like they couldn't get close to us really, but we just need to make better chances. Yeah, really frustrating.
Thank you, safe travels.
Thank you.
Go with Josh Gussman.
Hey, Derrick, appreciate you talking to us. Thank you. When you look at this team, and certainly it was some of last year, and now we're into sort of a similar stretch this year where you guys need wins. You need to climb above the line. You had a chance to do that tonight with the results with RSL and Austin, and it didn't happen. And we've seen this team fall short in that area, last year and now climbing into this year as well. What needs to change for this team in big games?
Just everyone stepping up, everyone playing as best as they can, and then if we all do that, then whatever the result, then we can hold our hands up. Like you said, it's similar to last year. We shouldn't even be in this position. Today was a perfect example. We dominate the ball, don't create the chances, they score a goal, and then things fall apart, and it's frustrating. But we have to get on with it. We got another massive game, biggest game of the season coming up, and we have to put this one behind us and have this feeling that we're feeling now and bring it into the game. So we're hurting a bit. So everyone's like, come on, let's leave it all out there and really go for this game.
Yeah, and when you look at it, this is the 8th time this season you guys have given up 3 goals or more. Does there have to be some more pride in that? And especially when you guys, listen, everybody's knotted in the Western Conference. It could come down to goal differential on some of these things. Are you guys paying attention to that?
100%. That's nowhere near good enough. It hurts when you say when you hear it like that. We need standards. We need it needs to hurt us a lot more, the whole team. And like you said, it could go down to goal difference, so we need to pick ourselves up. I think we have a better goal difference than Salt Lake at the minute. So hopefully we can make it even better on the weekend and really push on, because we were just 6 unbeaten, but we need to turn some of the draws into wins, and our season's on the line now, so we have to do it. If we don't do it, then we don't deserve it. So let's go. Like, we're ready.
Very good. Travel safe, Derek. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks.
Thanks for your time, Derek. That's it. Oh,
Recording in progress.
we'll start off with Josh Gussman. Josh, go ahead.
Hey, Mark. Thanks for taking the time. Appreciate it.
Yep, no worries.
When you look at this team and then the diamond midfielder, we were talking to Greg a little bit about it. I asked him, if he thought maybe you guys were too narrow at times, and I think he said yes in some ways and no in other ways, and I can understand that. What do you see whenever you're playing sort of on that right wing on that diamond side of creating width or trying to find space there?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm just trying to stay connected to Gaston, but at the same time, just rotating into that pocket on the right side between their center back and their left back, trying to work that space in there, and then exploit that. Maybe connect with Chicha, maybe get Jules to rotate around more, be more aggressive. But yeah, that's just kind of what I'm looking for around there. Yeah, that's just the role in this diamond.
Right, understood.
Yeah.
When we look at this team too, this is the 8th time that you guys have given up 3 goals or more this season. And I think we talked about this a little bit last year as well, that in the big games and with chances to move up in the standings late in the season, you guys haven't produced. Yeah. What needs to change in these situations, in these big games?
I think, given this game, I think we control the majority of the game, but I just think we got to be, a bit more aggressive and, get more people in the box, get down the line, get more crosses in, cause some chaos in front of their goal. I know we can have possession all day, but, if the possession is not leading to anything, then what's the point of it? We need to get goals and we need to get results. History, repeats itself. We create chances, but we don't finish. We let other teams hang around long enough in the game, and they put their few chances away, and next thing you know, it's 3-0. So, yeah.
Thanks, Mark. Appreciate it.
Yep, no worries.
Scott French, go ahead.
Hi, Mark. When this team has the ball, is it too static? Is it too reactionary rather than proactive?
No, not really. I guess I could say maybe in the final third, yes, but we all have a role to play. That's how we know when we receive the ball. Someone has to be filling another gap in this area or that area, but in the final third we need to make more runs. We need to play the ball in behind their back line and get people running onto it rather than reacting and then running. I would say just that part is a bit static in the final third.
Great. Thank you, Mark.
Yep.
Did we have a hand from Alex?
Yeah, just a quick question, Mark.
you've been playing this diamond bit wide on the right throughout the season. You've kind of also, kind of played in different areas and had different roles. What's it kind of been like having this adjustment at this point of the season? And do you see yourself, I guess, in a way, kind of having to play a different role with this upcoming stretch of games?
Yeah, sorta. It's a little different. I mean, I've played it before, so it's not anything new, but it's definitely different from the role I've been playing throughout, the beginning of the season. I was more of a six and, covering ground, getting into tackles, receiving the ball, playing forward between lines, and then, the guys do the rest. And, I'm just cleaning house in there usually. But now I gotta, get forward, at the same time, cover Gaston when necessary, but then when we have the ball, just, kind of be patient and work that right side, let the ball come to me rather than looking for it. So it's a bit of a different role. Sometimes, getting forward in the final third, running gaps, overlapping sometimes. So definitely a different role, but, nothing different that I haven't done. So I would say that's the difference from the beginning of the year and now.
Thank you.
Yeah. No
Thanks
worries.
for your time, Mark.
Yep, no worries. Thanks, guys.
Recording.